Citrasloth.
Welcome to Citrasloth's Guide to Ulduar. Regarded by many as the best raid ever made, Ulduar is located in Northrend, in the northern portion of Storm Peaks, inside the Titan complex that contains the Halls of Stone, the Halls of Lightning, and Ulduar itself. The entire complex is a prison for the old god Yogg-Saron, also known as the God of Death. This old god is responsible for the curse of flesh, the corruption of Titan watchers such as Loken, having influence over the Lich King, certain kinds of undead, other very important Azerothian events, the creation of the Faceless Ones, and the creation of Serenite, which consists of his dried and crystallized blood. This raid consists of 5 sprawling parts: the Siege of Ulduar, the Antechamber of Ulduar, the Keepers of Ulduar, the Celestial Planetarium, and the Descent into Madness. In this raid it is possible to earn 136 achievements, 3 mounts, completion of multiple quests, and the collection of Tier 8 gear for Transmog. As with all Lich King raids, in order to get the achievements, you have to complete the raid on both 10 and 25 man. In this video, we will be covering the first part of the raid, the Siege of Ulduar. In the Siege of Ulduar there are 4 bosses: Flame Leviathan, Ignis the Furnace Master, Razor Scale, and XE-002 Deconstructor. In the beginning of the raid, you will be in a large room. You have the option to get in one of 3 vehicles: a siege engine, a demolisher, or a motorcycle. You get an achievement for defeating the first boss on each of these different vehicles once. The best vehicle for soloing this part of the raid is the demolisher, because it allows you to kill enemies the fastest and it allows you to kite the boss. There are a few achievements that come before fighting the first boss, which is the Flame Leviathan, and for completing prerequisites before killing the boss. One such pre-boss achievement is Dwarfageddon. To get this achievement, kill 100 defenders in 10 seconds. It is easier to get this achievement by gathering a ton of dwarves up and killing them all at once. If you already have this achievement, you can stop the dwarves from spawning by killing the towers scattered throughout the middle of the large room, seen here. These towers only take damage from your vehicle, so you can only kill them with the demolisher or the siege engine. There are 4 orbital defense towers located here, 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 and here. These towers empower the upcoming boss. If you leave them all up, that is, you don't destroy them with your vehicle, you will get the achievement Obituary. Many achievements in this raid scale like this one, where if you complete the hardest one, you will get all of the easier ones. For instance, by completing Obituary, you will also earn Nuked from Orbit, Orbital Bombardment, and Orbital Devastation. The Unbroken achievement requires you to not repair your vehicle before you fight the Flame Leviathan. Simply don't drive over the repair pads seen before this boss. The 2 achievements that are associated with the boss itself are Shout Out and Take Out Those Turrets. Shout Out requires you to simply kill the boss without doing anything special. Take Out Those Turrets requires you to have a friend driving a demolisher and to have them catapult you on top of the Flame Leviathan. Once there, kill the turrets that are on top of the boss. In order to solo this boss efficiently, do as much damage as possible with your demolisher, including using pyrite barrels as much as possible. Kite the boss as much as you can. If your vehicle gets destroyed, keep trying to kite the boss and damage him as much as possible. If you are level 100, you should be able to withstand the damage you take from his minions for quite a while. The next boss is Ignis the Furnace Master. This fiery giant rules over a large forge and has a general theme: fire. To kill this boss, simply DPS it down to 0. This boss awards 3 different achievements. Stoke in the Furnace is awarded for killing it in under 4 minutes. Hot Pocket is awarded by getting thrown into Ignis' slag pod. You may or may not have the opportunity for this to happen because it is based entirely on RNG. The hardest achievement on this boss is Shattered, which requires you to kite 2 constructs that Ignis spawns through the fire left on the ground. After they reach 10 stacks of heat by kiting them through the fire, they will become molten. After they have the Molten debuff, kite them into the water where they will get the Brittle debuff. Kill them both within 5 seconds in order to complete this achievement. The next boss is Razor Scale. This fight is simple, but it will require 2 runs to get the achievements unless you are absolutely pro. To beat him, defend the engineers in the back as they fix the harpoons during the first phase. Then, fire the harpoons to bring the dragon down. Then DPS until the boss is dead. She will run around on the ground and no longer fly once she reaches 50% health. The first achievement, a Quick Shave, requires you to only allow her to land once. That is, you only have to go through the harpoon phase once. To do this, shoot her with the harpoons and burst her down very quickly, past 50%. The second achievement is one of the lengthiest in the raid. Iron Dwarf Medium Rare requires you to kill a total of 25 Dark Rune Guardian Dwarves from the first phase with her Flame Breath. She only uses Flame Breath after she is on the ground, which is after she is below 50% health. Her breath does not do enough damage to to the dwarves to kill them in one hit. Because of this, you must lower the health of the dwarves first. You will also need to damage the dwarves before they are killed by the Flame Breath in order to get credit. Because level 100s mostly one-shot these Dark Rune Guardians, you have two options to get this achievement. You can take off a lot of your gear, damage the dwarves down to about 30% HP, and kite them around until Razor Scale can use her Flame Breath. Or you can wait for her Berserk timer, which is 15 minutes long, gather up all the dwarves, hit them with a very low damage attack like Frost Nova, which is untalented, and let her buffed fire kill them, and subsequently you, almost instantaneously. This achievement is known to be bugged, but it is cumulative, so if you kill a few with the fire, but accidentally run out of dwarves, you can jump off the edge, reset the boss, and continue killing dwarves in another attempt. The final boss of the Siege of Ulduar is XT-002 Deconstructor. There is a pet called Little XT that is named after this boss, shown here. To beat this boss, simply DPS it as fast as possible. Every 25% HP lost, he will expose his heart. Each time he does this, a few ads spawn. There are 5 achievements for this boss. The first 3 can be completed easily. Must Deconstruct Faster requires you to kill him in under 205 seconds. Heartbreaker requires you to kill his heart that he exposes, then kill him. And Nerf Gravity Bombs requires that nobody die from a certain ability called Gravity Bomb. Just make sure not to stand in any AoE on the ground. The last 2 can be tricky and relate to the ads that spawn during the fight. Nerf Engineering requires you to make sure that no scrap bots, they spawn when his heart is exposed, make it to XT to heal him. Nerf scrap bots requires lots of kiting and CC, so you may want a friend or two to help. You have to kill 20 scrap bots within 12 seconds using a boom bot. Both of these ads spawn during the encounter, when XT's heart is exposed. The best strategy to do this is to DPS his heart down to around 5% every time as it's exposed, and to kite and CC the ads that spawn when you DPS the heart. It is best to minimize the amount of time you spend DPSing the actual boss. This is done by bursting him down in between his exposed heart phases. After 3 heart exposures, one at 75%, one at 50%, and one at 25%, there should be enough scrap bots to kill. Simply gather them up and DPS a bomb bot nearby. The boom bot will explode and cause the nearby scrap bots to be eliminated, thus earning you the achievement. Upon defeating XT after defeating the other bosses, you should get the achievement The Siege of Ulduar. The achievements needed in this section of Ulduar for the Glory of the Ulduar Raider achievement are Obituary, Iron Dwarf Medium Rare, Stoke in the Furnace, and Heartbreaker. Thank you for watching this guide for the first part of Ulduar Raid, The Siege of Ulduar. Click here to subscribe, and click here to watch the next video in the series.